What's up, everybody? So I'm going to go over these three products, but before I do that, typically I do car videos and I do how to change stuff on your car or whatever, because I'm very into cars. That is my passion. But what I do for work is I'm actually a technical support specialist, and I do training in the HVAC industries, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning down in South Florida. I work for a distributor. I'm doing a talk for my distributor regarding indoor air quality. So I figure I'd do is do a quick little video of an unboxing and a very quick, not how to installation, but just go over how, not how to install, not how to install, but where you're going to install and some installation tips. So here we go. First I'm going to do is open up, this is the iWAVER. This is a ionizing, this is the iWAVER R. So this is R, stands for residential, and you're going to use this in applications ranging from 1 to 5 tons. I believe it can go up to a 6-ton system. Typically you're only going to see these in residential applications at your home, but you can install them in light commercial units as well. Basically, it's going to get installed in an air handler. You're going to get your paperwork and you get your installation instructions. Important that you do this. It's just good to have, and you go ahead and peel this off, stick it to the unit, so that way you have a reference. Always register anything that you purchase. I will tell you that on some of these manufacturers, I'm not sure about the iWAVER, the APCO, or the REME. I'm pretty sure about the REME, but if you do not have a licensed air conditioning contractor install these, it almost cuts your warranty in half. So you may want to just have an AC contractor install these. It's going to cost you more, but you're going to get more warranty, and that may come in handy later on down the future. So anyways, so here you go. This is the iWAVER. It has these little brushes. That's where the ionizers, they work. They have positive and negative ionizers. The air needs to pass directly across it. And this is the cleaning rod. So this, every once in a while, it's going to self-clean, and it's going to knock any dust or debris that's has those brushes that they start sticking together. You do not want to touch these brushes when there's power to it. So there is a light here that'll tell you when it's powered up, and then here are your power wires. You do have an on and off switch here, so if you need to turn it off to service it or clean it, you can. So you can turn it off. There is a 1 amp fuse inside here, so if something happens, that light's not coming on, then you may want to, if you're definitely getting power, you may want to check that. Sorry if I'm talking really quickly, because I don't want to make this video too long, because watching long videos drives me crazy. Anyhow, this is compatible with I think it's 110 to 277 volts, something around there. But basically, you just got to hook these two wires up. If you're hooking up to 120, then this is going to be your neutral. This will be your hot. If you're do 220, then just two legs, L1, L2, your green. And this is a normally closed, when the system is operating, it's a normally closed switch. So what this is for is if you're going to wire it up to an auxiliary light, because once you install this inside the unit, you're not going to be able to see the light and see if it's on. So you can wire in an LED to place on the outside of the cabin, so that way you can tell if it's working. Okay, real quick installation. The trick on these is finding space. In a unit like this, it's a little tight. So what you can do is you can use, on this unit, there's a plate. I only suggest using this method when the system is brand new, because you could spray glue the back of this plate, stick it to the insulation, and then this has magnets, and it will just stick on the inside of the cabinet. Now, you want it, you really ideally would like to place it on the shaft side of the blower, so that way the air will go across those brushes and pull the ions into the home or the conditioned space. If this air handler is installed in a left hand application, meaning the left hand of the cabinet is actually horizontal and the left hand becomes the bottom, I don't suggest mounting it on the bottom, because if you ever get a water leak, that water can work its way into the iWAVER. So you definitely want to keep it out of water, obviously, because it has electricity in it. So if that was the case, you could take this panel and place it on this side and glue it to there, and then stick the iWAVE to it. Honestly, if you're going to use this plate in a left-hand application, I wouldn't use glue, just because there is a chance that glue or the insulation will droop over time. There are holes in this one. This panel is a block-off plate for the electric heat strips. So just go ahead and put some screws, screw it to the side of the cabinet, and then stick your iWAVE to it. Other option, and I only recommend this in a vertical application or right-hand horizontal, that means the right hand of the unit will be on the bottom, would be drilling a 3-inch hole here. There is a gasket. You can drill a 3-inch hole right where the shaft is. You can mount this. It's got screw tabs. You screw it in, and as you can see, it's right there. So this is a good way to do it. The only thing you got to be careful with is you want to make sure you tape this insulation. I just use masking tape because that's all I had on me. This is a demo unit. It's actually damaged pretty bad. I do a lot of, so you can see it's damaged there. So this is a scratch and dent unit that we're not using at the warehouse. We're just basically using for extra parts. Unfortunately, people run into stuff at my work, so a lot of times I get tasked fixing them. But that's the basics of the iWAVE. Pretty simple, a little bulky. You do not want to put this before the air filter because all that dust will clog up those little brushes. So anywhere you're going to put this, you want to make sure it's after the filter, meaning if you're thinking of after filter, meaning the path of airflow. So as the airflow comes through the unit, there's a filter. You want to make sure it's between that filter and either the coil or before the blower wheel. Can you put it in the duct? I guess you could. It's not ideal. They don't suggest it. They highly recommend putting it in between the coil and evaporator or fan motor. So if you're putting this in an existing system, I always recommend pulling that out, cleaning the blower wheel, and acid washing, cleaning the coil and the drain pan, blowing out the drain line. Start with a clean slate. So that's that. I'm talking fast because, like I said, who wants to watch a long video? Next is the APCO-X. This is a PCO system. This basically is going to have a UV light that's going to shine on a carbon catalyst that's going to help keep the air fresh in the home. It's going to help kill a lot of pollutants. This is not an ionizing system, where the iWAVE is an ionizing system. Ionizing, you'd really, I can't get into it because I'd be here forever, but go ahead and Google bipolar ionization. You'll find plenty of videos. Google PCO. You can find plenty of information with PCO indoor air quality systems. You can go to lung.org, EPA.gov. There's plenty of websites that can get in-depth information on the technology and how it works, so you can choose which one you want to use. iWAVE is a bipolar ionizer, and this is more of a piece. I would consider this a PCO system, photocatalytic, whatever, something. I can't, oxonizer or something. I don't know. I say it a million times and I teach it, but man, so many big words. Don't like big words. Anyways, APCO-X. Here you go. There's your cartridges, your carbon cartridges. Your UV light will be installed, and the UV light will come across here. And this system is actually pretty cool because you can purchase an additional UV light to put underneath the coil to help keep the inside of the cabinet clean as well. Pretty simple as far as installing. You do need to install a UV light here. These screws come off. Only thing I'll tell you right now is what I can't say that I really like about the APCO. I've used the APCO products in the past. They definitely work. I have had great experience with the APCO and the REME, dealing with customers that had bronchial infections due to mold or mildew inside the building. Installing these products totally, I would say, almost healed the customer because they were coughing, they were on medications. I installed the product, they were off medications and no longer coughing. They were able to sleep at night, blah, blah, blah. I ramble on and I talk fast. I apologize. I don't like these screws because they're plastic. They just seem like over time, I guess if you're not really going in and out of this box too often, so I guess it's not a big deal. They just kind of feel cheap and plasticky. So not a fan of that. I wish they would just use metal. But the way materials are going on and how everything is getting expensive and hard to come by, I get it. But that's that. The UV light bulb, if you have an additional UV light bulb, the hookup will be here, and then you'll run the wire down to the air handler cabinet. There is a UV bulb that comes in this box. Let me go ahead and take it out, so you might as well see that too. Now you don't have to worry about touching this with your fingers like the old ones. This does have a glass tube. It's like a tube within the tube. So you don't have to worry about touching it and affecting it. It's not a big deal. So basically this is gonna go right in here, slide in there. One thing I wanna note is when you're taking this system out of the box, they stick these to the back of that cardboard. So if you take this cardboard out of the box, don't throw it away. You're gonna need the stuff that's in there. And then, because these are in there, these little plastic screws, not screws, these little plastic nuts here, you put them in. And then plug can only go one way. There's a little notch there, and there's a little groove there, and you just basically push it in, plug it in, you're done. Okay, so that is the APCO-X. Ignore that, we'll kick that to the side. Throw this over here, throw it over there, nobody cares. Okay, so last but not least, the Halo. The Halo is a combination of the both. This is gonna be an ionizer. There's ionizers, now this is the Halo LED version. The standard version does not have an ionizer, and the bulbs don't last as long. So I recommend, if you're gonna spend all the money on a Halo, get the LED version. The bulbs last longer, the warranty is longer. Just get this one. It has the ionizer, it's a combination of both. This is gonna be, I'd probably say this is my favorite. Only thing I don't like the older versions. And it's not because they didn't work. They worked phenomenal. But I swear, everyone I put in failed at the 2-year mark, like just after the 2-year mark. So it was like, I replaced the bulbs, wasn't the bulb. The board inside the REME Halo unit, I swear they would last right after the warranty and then go off. So hopefully, 4-year warranty, at least maybe it'll last 4 years. Hopefully, it should. If you're installing this on a air conditioning system that is a communicating system, meaning you have a communication thermostat, which is typically going to be an inverter style system, the reason you'll need this is the manufacturer, REME Halo or RGF, recommends that you have this switched on only when the fan is running. Sorry, so it should only be on when the fan is running. In order to accomplish that, there's a couple different methods. A couple that are already in the box, but if you have a communicating system, your communicating system will not turn the fan on by use of a 24 volt call, 24 volts AC call from the thermostat or from the board. A communicating system uses communicating voltage, so you won't be able to turn the system on and off unless you purchase this. This is an air switch. This is just basically a pressure switch that's going to mount inside your AC somewhere. You can mount it on the outside if you want. You can mount it on the outside. Sometimes it gets a little difficult trying to find somewhere to put this stuff because you don't have much space. Typically there's a heater here, and the heater is going to come all the way out here, and you can have some more solenoids and sequencers and breakers and a whole bunch of jibber jabber nonsense. So you won't have room for this. So this little space doohickey looks like it has 2 guns there, something from Star Wars almost, right? I don't know. Anyways, so you're going to want to screw this in somewhere, wherever you choose, and then you have 2 ports. It does come with a hose, so, you know, we love them hose. We want to take those hose, and we're going to take one end of the hose. This is the positive side, and this is your negative side. Your blower wheel does 2 things. It creates a negative pressure before it and a positive pressure after it. So the positive pressure side in this unit is going to be where the heater would be or where the duct work. The supply duct is going to be your positive pressure side. The return, or in between your blower and your coil, there's no coil here because, like I said, it's scratch and dent. That's going to be your negative pressure side. So if you mount this outside here, say if you were to mount this, and let's go here, we're a little more light. Say if we were to mount this outside, okay, I would suggest taking this, going in the side, drilling a hole in here, putting the port with the hose, running the hose over here, and putting it into here. Now, this does come with grommets, so if you drill a hole, you can use a grommet, seal with some caulking. And then the negative pressure side, I would just take it down around the middle of the cabinet, drill a hole, and put it into the negative side. So once the fan comes on, it's going to create a pressure differential. It's going to close this normally open switch, and it's going to close it, and it's going to activate your REME Halo. I would suggest running red, or you can run common, whatever side you want to choose to break on the transformer. the low voltage that's going to the REME Halo. The REME Halo is powered by a 24-volt transformer that does come with it. So you'll power up the transformer with 220 voltage, you'll make the right selection, and then you'll run one wire to the REME Halo, and the other wire will go in series with the pressure switch. So let's take this off. Now, like I said before, that's only going to be in a communicating system, because communicating system doesn't send that voltage. Everything is low voltage communication, so you're not going to have that control, the 24-volt control. Now, if you're hooking this up on a system like this one here we have, this is a constant torque, ECM, X13, whatever you want to call it. It has multiple speeds. This is a non-communicating system, so you will receive a 24-volt call from the thermostat to activate the fan, or to call for cooling, or call for the fan to turn on. So what you're going to do with this is I call them peanut relays. I don't even know if that's the real name for them. That's my dad called them, so that's what I call them, peanut relay. Basically, fan relay. You have your contacts and you have your voltage. So basically, you're going to do your low voltage is going to be hooked up here. When you get 24 volts here, it's going to close these contacts. It's going to send power through to the REME Halo and turning the Halo on. So this you would want to wire into G, the green wire. If you wanted to, you could wire into Y. So every time it calls for cooling, or every time that condenser comes on, if it's a heat pump, it'll turn on the REME Halo. Ideally, I would say put it on the G call, because the G call, anytime the fan comes on, the Halo is going to come on. Anytime there's air circulating, you're going to be circulating cool, clean air throughout the home, or warm air, wherever you're at. And down here in South Florida, we don't ever use heat. So it comes with your directions. It comes with, very similar to the APCO-X, you're going to get like a two-sided tape. There's adhesive on both sides of this. You just peel and stick it. So you'll punch out the center portion, just like on the APCO. I don't think I showed you that on the APCO. On the APCO, you have this doohickey. No, you can't hook hamburgers on this, but I mean, I guess you could. It's kind of thin. But you have the same thing here. You're going to pop that center out. You're going to two-sided tape on both sides. You're going to stick this to the APCO, and then once you make your hole, you're going to bend these tabs in, and then you'll have these studs here to be able to secure your APCO to it. Well, the Halo doesn't have the studs or the metal plate, which I think they should do it, but they don't. But I don't think I've ever seen one fall out either, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Make sure they clean the surface. If you have the duct and it's all masticed, use a lot of spray glue. Actually, it really sucks. If your plenum is all mastic, you may want to get something to screw it in, because tape just doesn't adhere to mastic, and over time it just tends to fall apart and just come off. So anyways, you punch this out, and it has to flow a certain way. So you would think it goes like this. The old REME Halos, they installed like this, and the airflow went this way. I believe it goes like this, and the air flows just like the Arrow. It's going to airflow across the REME Halo just like that. So you'll take this, make your mark, cut the hole, stick this to the REME Halo. And next we have this space age looking Halo. Kind of reminds me of the game. The older ones look like guns, like space age guns. So anyways, this is just a little pretty little cardboard thing to show you what you got. Who cares? Inside here is these are LED. Like I said, they said they have a 4-year lifespan, but LEDs usually, I think they last longer, especially if you're not running them constantly. And here are your catalysts, your I don't know what the carbon, whatever they're made out of. They're made of something. And inside here, you have your ionizing brushes, very similar to the iWAVER. There's little brushes in here, and they are self-cleaning as well. So as that air passes through, it's going to have that sort of PCO effect. The UV LED light will keep the blower will clean, anything on underneath it. If you have electric heat strips, it'll keep those clean. And then as well, as the air goes across, it's going to be sitting ionized and creating hydrogen peroxides. They're going to beat up all kinds of stuff that are in the air, help kill it. Apparently, this system will kill germs, 99% of germs in a sneeze. As it's passing through the air, these molecules and hydrogen peroxides will be floating around and attack that sneeze that's going out. It's supposed to kill 99% of the germs at a 3-foot distance. So if you got somebody that likes to spray when they sneeze and they don't cover their dang mouth, you probably want one of these. So it's REME Halo, your power input's there, very similar. You'd have your ductwork, similar to the APCO, you're gonna have your ductwork coming out of here. Just kind of imagine this chrome or shiny thing coming out of the top here. And then you're gonna cut your hole, and you have your airflow. It says airflow right there is going across that way, so it's gonna mount in sideways. I guess aesthetically not really the best, because that just looks better to have it like that. You'd think that's how they'd mount it, but no. It's gonna be sideways. It's kind of odd. I would think that they'd probably put the sticker sideways, right? Because I can already see a contractor putting this in and a homeowner saying, you put it in wrong. And it's sideways. You didn't put it in right. Well, airflow, 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 airflow. Anyhow, I'm gonna shut up. I'm in this video. I'm sorry it took 20 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed it and my rambling. Till next time. Oh, guys, click the like button. There's not going to be anything. I'm pointing at something, but I'm not smart enough to be able to make a button. So just click, I think it's over here somewhere, or subscribe, and leave a comment and let me know if you want to see more videos of this HVAC stuff and less videos of car stuff. Let me know. I do have a channel that we talk about drifting in cars all the time, so I could just focus on air conditioning stuff on this channel. But let me know. Subscribe, and hey, we'll go from there.